Yeah, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Obviously, like as long as you've had time to look at a couple of them, and okay. All right, let's go. Do you want to just jump right into the text, the questions here?
Oh, sure, yeah.
That might be
Um,
most efficient here. Okay.
yeah,
Let's quickly skim through the form and then we'll go questions. So when to get better understanding of obviously if this has changed, just let me know. Get a better
sure.
understanding of strengths, weaknesses, focusing practice time on my weaknesses and lean further into my strengths. Um, Diamond at the time, mostly tracer hit scan backup, getting a decent amount of ranked 8 to 12 depending on the week. Short term, develop a better understanding of what good team play looks like so I can make better calls and plays. Looks like some team play priorities for you as well. At least those are some things that you're looking to lean more into.
Yeah, I think most of that's pretty much the same. I'm still like Diamond 2-ish. And then for team play, I've been scrimming with like a Diamond level team just to kind of learn more about the game, and it's more fun to play in an organized environment. So,
Okay.
learning more about how I can like be a good teammate essentially.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. And obviously, with your experience, I'm seeing here with Valorant, and you want to kind of carry that over into what you're doing right now. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're on a team right now and enjoying that process right now, like let's just keep rolling with that. Understanding of the game is a problem. Situational awareness is pretty weak since I don't have a long-term Overwatch experience. It takes more conscious effort to read different scenarios and time dives with my tank. So just more of the Overwatch specific stuff seems like a big priority, yeah?
I agree. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, so let's start then with your training schedule. So, are you confident, comfortable with how you're practicing right now?
I think I do a decent job. We typically scrim like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday,
It's a lot of
and I'll
scrims for a diamond
play.
team. Wow.
Yeah, we'll do something like that, and then I'll play on the weekends when I can, depending on if I'm working. And I think I try and go into like my play sessions with like a focus,
Yep.
and I kind of have an idea of what I should be doing. So I
Yeah.
don't think I have any questions about that.
Excellent. Okay, sounds good. I do tend to spend a little too much time on Kovacs, but
Yeah,
that's Valorant for you. So okay, let's
yeah.
jump into the questions then. So before review, I've watched a ton of Tracer videos and final reviews, top 100, so I have a lot of information. I want to know what to narrow in on. Perfect. How often should I play without a specific practice focus? Great question. So the reason why you do that, there's two ways of doing, I guess two or three reasons why you do that. One is to practice your performance. In other words, the ability to put it all together and just win the freaking game, right? I think that's a good competitive skill to have. The second reason why you do that is just a general evaluation of where I'm actually at, like with all these skills when I'm not thinking about them. And the
Yeah.
third one is just because it's fun. I would say I would go just to pick a random number out of the air. Anywhere from 20 to 40% of your games should be played without a focus.
Okay. And would you include? Well, I guess like scrims are more of like a team focus, but would you count that towards it?
It depends on what the goal of the scrim is. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I would factor scrimmages into that. Yeah. So you might
Okay.
have. I mean, I've had performance scrims. That's like something that we did regularly with Overwatch League as well. Like where we were playing to win, or we were playing to kind of get in the right competitive mindset, or to see whether a composition worked out, and we weren't really practicing that scrim. A certain
Gotcha.
percentage is totally fine. But again, it depends on what your team wants. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay, understanding what or why playstyle shouldn't really change. So this is just more semantics. When I say playstyle doesn't really change, what I mean with tracers, I mean that you take a short off angle and you shoot whoever's there. In terms of what that looks like versus you are getting marked on the angle by a DPS versus they're running snipers and it's New Queen Street and there's nobody on your angle, and so you're just going to keep deepening all the way to the back line, right? You're still shooting from a short range off angle. It just so happens that there was nobody on that off angle, so you went all the way to the back line. Your
Okay.
positioning might change, but the goal of what Tracer does doesn't. So it just looks different. The goal is short range off angle, but where that short range off angle is depends. How aggressively you use your blinks depends. That's who you're shooting from that angle may also depend as well. But basically, the principle is still the same. And the reason that I emphasize that so much is because I want to keep things as simple as you possibly can. You don't need to overcomplicate things, if that makes sense.
Okay. And then follow up question to that is like on a map that's like Havana, let's say, I typically don't want to use more than one blink to close the gap. Would there be times where I kind of would have to play more of like an assassin like playstyle. Where
If
I
you
kinda
can't
try
find a
all
short
in.
range off angle without using multiple blinks to close the distance, then either your map experience is really bad or you're absolutely right and you absolutely should.
Okay.
Yeah,
Makes
so if you can't find that angle, you probably should sit in the replay viewer and think about it a little bit longer. But there's probably also circumstances where you're right. You probably should be just using double blinking. So,
Okay.
okay, how can I use my mechanics to my advantage? I mean,
That
if
might
you,
kind of
yeah,
be answered in VOD. So.
the answer is just to play the game.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're coming from a Valorant background, you immediately are going to skip steps to a level that even if your fundamentals with Overwatch are weak. For example, like you're Diamond right now. Diamond's like top 8, 9%, right? Like you're just immediately, without necessarily as much long-term practice, immediately skyrocketed to the top, right? You had a head start. Your mechanical advantage may completely evaporate at this point in time, right? You may not be able to continually leverage that. To be honest with you, I don't think that there's really a way to further lean into your playstyle as a mechanical tracer outside of having more confidence that when I have blinks, I will be able to outplay more people. So what that might mean is you're more of a high risk, high reward player than a low risk, low reward player in terms of your individual decisions. In other words, you're holding an angle, you've burned your recall, Cassidy's half HP, you've got triple blinks. You could hold the angle and play it safe, or you could go and try and gamble and get the kill because you do have 3 blinks. That might be where you would try to leverage your mechanics there and go for it. But honestly, for any player, that would probably be a reasonable risk.
Okay. And I think I have been seeing that where plays that when I was maybe a little bit lower ranked, aren't quite working out. So
Yeah. It's always, is the reward worth the risk? That's always the question. Sometimes there's a couple of choices. If there's a low risk, high reward, always choose that. Alternatively, there might be a couple of different options. Struggling with awareness, numbers advantage, win conditions, support positioning, timing. So we'll cross off win conditions. We'll focus on numbers advantage. That's just kill feed awareness, right? Some of you can deliberately practice. There's an audio cue. I'm sure you're aware of it. You can turn on in game. What I would recommend is if you want to work on that, turn on the audio cue for one game. Practice playing with the audio cue, and then turn it off for the next games. So that when you're practicing your kill feed awareness, you have something that reminds you to practice your kill feed awareness. And then you're able to turn it back off and then just focus on other skills afterwards.
Okay, that's
something to consider. Just a drill. And the way kill feed awareness works as well is because it's very mid-fight, you can practice something else at the same time that's pre-fight. So you might focus on pre-fight angles and then mid-fight kill feed awareness. Something like that. Okay. Supports positioning and timing. I mean, that's often the same thing, with the exception of like your tank just goes in and you have to decide to help your tank or do I just wait? Same thing. Yeah. That could be actually something that you work on with your numbers advantage because a support positioning timing thing is also very, very much pre-fight, right? So you can coincidentally work on both numbers advantage and your timing at the same time. Check your team's position and then mid-fight check your numbers advantage. That's basically it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's good to know that you're struggling with that. Patience, constantly trying to do something. Yep. I mean, again, it just comes down to, do I have the resources to take additional actions? If the answer is no, don't take additional actions or do something more conservative. It's just tempo, right? You can't always be doing something.
Right.
Recall usage, unnecessary greed and using it when I don't need to. Obviously, using it when I don't need to is something you have to worry about, but ironically, you talk about uptime, patience, constantly trying to do something. Really, all recall is for uptime. It's for the ability to continue to do pressure and to do it safely most of the time. So we'll look at it in a more detail-oriented space, but trying to hold on to it when you're going to have to run away and grab health back instead of just recalling is usually a mistake. Mid-fight, positioning gets very sloppy and I chase kills while down resources. That goes right back to your patience, right? Constantly trying to do something. Dueling, Genji, Soldier 76, and Venture. Do you want to talk about each one of these really fast?
Yeah, Genji, like, I get that I have to expect the dash, and, like, that's kind of his win condition, but I just still feel like I died to Genji way more than I should.
Sure. You might be pushing yourself too hard. I think it's less important to dodge the dash and more important to dodge the follow-up to the dash.
Okay.
So if you get hit by dash, it's not great, but it's only 50 damage. The right click, even if it's only 1 or 2 shurikens afterwards, is just as important, if not more important.
Okay. And then Soldier, it just feels like I can even like blank around him and like outplay him, but I can never really finish the kill. And I don't know if I actually should be finishing the kill.
You should.
Unless,
You should.
Yeah,
It's situational, right? If you start off the fight badly, he hits a helix or he gets the healing station off really quickly, just disengage. But if he's got the healing station mid-fight, as long as you're using your blinks to dodge shots and you make him hit an impossible helix or he doesn't hit it at all, you'll win that war of attrition. You should be able to out-sustain him in a 1v1. It's not quite as slow as a Genji 1v1. Like a Genji 1v1, you just take your time, whittle him down, right? Soldier, it's kind of similar. You're not going to be able to kill him very fast, but you basically you'll out-sustain him. He basically has to hit a helix or out-mechanic you to win if you're using your blinks properly.
Okay. And then Venture, I don't play against Venture like a ton, but I've had some games where I do, and I'm a little unsure how to play into Venture, so.
Okay. So there's a couple of characters that are better at short-range off angles than you. Venture's at the top of the list. Something like a Reaper, you have to be careful around, but it's really easy to blink around Reaper and dodge the combos and so on. Genji can be scary in small rooms. Junkrat can be scary in small rooms. Venture's terrifying, right? So the way to play Venture is to just kind of out-sustain, right? Same kind of thing as Genji. Take it slow, whittle, don't get hit by directs. That's the big thing with Venture. So you need to be using your blinks. The problem I see with a lot with Tracer players with Venture is they try to play Venture, and actually I see it versus Reaper too. Don't try to outpoke a Venture. Get user blinks. User blinks. Play an open space where you have plenty of opportunities to blink through them, right? And just shoot, blink, shoot, blink, shoot, blink, shoot, blink, recall, shoot, blink, and then there you go. Do not try to don't try to strafe and shoot. Don't try to get sucked into your mechanical war, because one primary fire from Venture and you're in serious trouble.
Okay.
And then if you don't have space to move, you're going to get drill dashed. So Venture can be a tough 1v1 for sure. Okay. Do you want to look at a replay code? Do you want to do some live coaching? What would you prefer?
Let's start with a code. Probably that first one. I think that's a good one where I think I played into a cast for some of it, and that was, I guess, yeah. I greed my recall a little bit, but sometimes I don't know if I'm like greeting it or he's hitting nice shots.
Yep.
So.
Let's take a look. Any questions so far?
No, I think that's all for now.
Okay, let's take a look here. So again, making some assumptions here about your fundamentals. You should have an idea of what you ought to be doing. Now, whether you're doing it or not, I don't have any expectations. But when explaining things, I'm going to make some assumptions. So if I say anything that doesn't fully make sense, just let me know. Just be like, hey, can you elaborate on that? And I'll be happy to.
Okay, will do.
This rotation's fine. Now, this is like a great example of where the map is not a good angle for you. Is this a short-range off angle? Technically. But it's only a short-range off angle by a few degrees. Let me kind of give you an example of what I mean by that. Do you see the problem here?
Yeah, he doesn't have to turn his head, really.
Right, it's very direct, right? So this is one of the situations where your job or your solution should be to rotate deeper.
Like blink through?
There's some exceptions. If this was like a tracer duel, maybe could be more patient. But yeah, you need to get through to here. You probably need to get through to here and harass and distract and harass and distract. This is a map situational thing. This is not just very uncomfortable. And it's even worse when you're Orisa, Lucio follow. And so from here, you probably should rotate where?
Left side.
Correct,
like
right. So
top
you
side.
rotate around your team. This is too far, so you deepen your angle from here. So you're going to lose uptime here, but it's absolutely worth it. See, and here we are, right? So I actually like the way that you've moved here so far.
Okay, cool.
Awkward movement. Where should you have gone from here?
Probably deepen.
What's the problem here? What's the principle that you're breaking here? What's wrong with this?
Tracer sandwich.
Right, tracer sandwich, right? You didn't rotate. Could have rotated this way. You could have shot through, blinked through to here, and played here, rotated out here. You tracer sandwich yourself.
Yeah.
And the question is why? Was it I'm focusing on the duel, I'm not thinking of my surroundings or the next rotation? Was it I've been thinking so hard about positioning for the first 20 seconds, I just don't have any more stamina left at this point in time? Do you remember?
I think I felt like I wasn't doing anything probably, so I wanted to be closer, but just didn't go the right way for it.
Right, that's not necessarily a bad assessment. I think getting a little closer here would be nice, but Obviously, you need to get closer by staying on an angle or on a flank, staying outside, not in the middle. Because this ends up being even worse. Not just risk, but reward. I will say as well, you probably shouldn't go back post-recall here. From here, you need to keep doing things. So your best bet might be to drop or to shoot from here and distract, blink from here and harass this way. Just in general, like you going backwards here, there's nothing to shoot here. So while you're waiting for your recall, you might need to go for lower risk pressure, but there's nothing to do here. You kind of see what I'm saying? So it needs to be, what do I do from this position? I was really pleased with your rotation to get here, but then you kind of frozen up once you were here because there's nothing close.
Yeah.
And you can see it too, like you're just doing air. Now we're here, but the damage has been done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is just, we'll go to this point in time here. Sure. Probably shouldn't be using your blinks as such. That's kind of like the thing here, right? So you're not, don't quite have your recall there, and I think you thought that you did. I think it's the tricky thing. Okay, let's keep going here. I don't hate what you're doing from that position, though. Greeting recall, or just probably should have just been thinking about your next rotation anyway. So this is what we talked about, the rotations, right? Again, you notice how awkward this is. This will feel much better, right? Because you can actually, there's just space to move. This is too congested, and it's too uncomfortable. This should work. Good pulse. Good. Live. This is fine. This is an awkward fight, but I don't think you misplayed it.
Okay.
Just drop underneath. Yeah, just needed to live here, and then just because you're gonna be able to potentially kill Ram if you can live. I guess he had the touch, so it's tough. Okay. So you coach yourself here. Let's focus on the micro here.
Blink for the mega first. Oh.
Maybe. Depends, right? You did get blink past the dash, and you did steal the mega.
Yeah.
So who is the advantage right here? I mean, very clearly you, right? Good. Thoughts?
Shouldn't have dropped.
Well, maybe you should have. But if so, where should your rotation have gone?
Deeper to the right.
Deeper to the right. All right. You keep blinking back towards your team or into the middle of the fight, which is why I think your uptime on these dives has been so incredibly low. Does it make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Good angle. Okay. Thoughts?
I felt like I was too early, but my ball was, well, not right now. He's not in, so just, oh, well, he is about to be.
Yeah.
So just still too early.
I maybe, but then also maybe a little too early for sure. But I think like is damage being done right now, and this is criminal. This is criminal. Look what you rotate away from. You go from a short range off angle to nothing, right? This is too far. You notice that?
Yeah.
So you're continually rotating away from threats into the open space where you can't really do anything, right? Now they rotate towards you, but this is why your damage numbers are so incredibly low despite your mechanics, right?
Okay.
So from here, if you've been more aware of your ball's timing here, what would the rotation have looked like here?
Blink to that left room.
Yeah, blink here, shoot. Harass, go from there, blink through it, pincer yourself for a second, then blink back out again, and then recall, and shoot, and blink. We needed pressure here. You're not doing any damage. So I think the key thing here is that, like, the short-range off angle, it doesn't matter who you shoot, but this is not a short-range off angle.
Yeah, mid-range.
Right? Mid-range, exactly. So it's better than nothing, but it's not good enough. We just saw when you were here and you were shooting the ram, it was really good damage, right? But at this range, no. And I think it's these mid-fight rotations And by mid-fight rotation, I mean how you're using your blinks when the enemy team looks at you. Remember the Brig on first fight in the previous round? You take that high ground, you shoot the Brig, and you start to focus on dueling the Brig, and what do? You blink in the middle of the enemy team and then have to recall back, right?
Yeah.
That needs to be cleaner here. Okay.
Right.
So what we'll do is we'll call it second position, right? It's like right now. You're going to push this Cassidy. So then where should you go if your ball wasn't here?
After Cassidy dies?
No, before he dies. You're here, you've got 2 blinks, what do you do?
Double blink to that left room again?
You could. You can blink here, recall, come back, blink, right? You kind of get what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm looking for, right? Is how do you approach these duels and how do you approach these angles where you can actually do something?
Okay.
Okay, this is good. I wouldn't use my blink there. That was a bit awkward. Good try. Very good. You can keep peppering that. You can fight this all day long. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Not so good. You know, if you want to talk about using your mechanics, this fight, your positioning and your rotations has felt significantly smoother. You've noticed that, right? You peppered from this right side, D.Va chased you, you let her chase you, then you dodged her, came back from here, came to here, came to here, came to here, and you just did so much. Like, it's unbelievable how much you did this fight, right? Your rotations were smooth. You're able to stay on the outside of the enemy team without putting yourself too far away. Night and day. Night and day. You feel it, right?
Yeah, and I can, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, this is what we talked about short range offing, all right? This is fine. You're doing good damage here. This is really good. And the funny thing is this is really tough. Look what you're doing for your ball. You see that? Late with Hinder, late with Hack, late with Virus. Look at that. And why? Look at where their attention is right now. You see it? Look at them both DPS looking at you, right? It's just too late. It's really good. Yeah, I mean, look at how compressed they are. Look at how little space they have, you know? This is really good.
Oh, I thought you could go over
I saw the vision. That would have been really cool. That's basically like using a blink from a jump pad, you know? I mean, honestly, this is this is good. They used a bunch of ults here, but this is still very winnable. Yeah, I'm zooming through this because I have no feedback. This is great. Cool. You did a really good job with your rotations, your mechanics, your cover, your use of links. Okay, so then from here, it's going to be important. Let's see what you do. See, this is incorrect, right? So you've blinked right from, because you realize they're too far. And then instead of using architecture, you're using your blinks instead. And so now you're going to die for it, or should have died for it. You see that? So from here, how do you close the distance here? Because this is too far. You're correct. Got really 2 choices here.
Like blinking to the middle or wrapping left?
Yeah, okay. Harass from here or wrapping left. Right, whatever your choice is. You got it. Sure. Huh. Yeah, make her look silly. Okay. Good job.
Thank you.
I mean, it's just complete night and day. Might be a map comfort thing, right? With where you know but honestly, even first fight was a little messy in terms of how far away they were and how you responded accordingly. Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions so far?
Not about that past round. Question about this right here. Is this is there a better way to sim portal, or is it just not worth portaling? More so for like a team side rather than ranked, but
I think
this
this is probably optimal. It depends on where your team wants to fight. If your team wants to fight on main, this is your best portal. If your team doesn't want to fight on main, there's a chance that you could do a sim portal through to here and take the fight
nice.
right to point, or even you could TP to here and they can go up through the hallway as well. Yeah, you might even be able to go from main to this way as well. But yeah, it's really your choice.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Your choice.
That's all.
Okay.
It's time to save the realm.
I think this is when they swap cast. Yeah.
I was gonna say, don't rotate away. You got this. You know, you're gonna have to be careful with the cast. But this is this is this is good range, right? Like this is where we want to be. And then just obviously, if you get pushed, you need to respond. But yeah, this is good. Don't lean this way. Hold the angle. Because you see how you've given him the space now. You've seen that. So
Yeah.
you've given him the space, and then now you're having the one walk into him. The other thing to note as well is I want way more deliberation with how you're using your blinks here, right? So this is just a little bit of disrespect from you. You're kind of surprised about the wide peak here, but obviously, like, this is like, all right, here, wait, there's a Valorant example here. I've never played Valorant, but this is like a
I know what you're gonna say.
light
You got
machine
it.
gun SMG peeking a sniper rifle at 60 plus meters. I mean, I don't know, like whatever. Surely there's an SMG or something in Valorant, right? But like, yeah, this is no bueno, right? There's no possible way that you're gonna make this work. The only way you make this work is by playing here and playing around this architecture here, right?
Yeah.
You can't win this.
Yeah.
Do you notice that this feels very similar to the first round on the first point where you ran to the Genji? It's just not a good angle, and you don't have a lot of space to move, right? So
Right.
move. I know why you didn't move, because you thought I could use cover. But the problem is that you shouldn't be here. You need to be here
Yeah.
or here or here, right?
Right.
Okay, let's see what you do. Nice. Yes. Just slow. Just way too slow. Disrespectful, right?
Yeah.
Once the post recalls there, you must move. Otherwise, you die.
Yeah.
Because this is immense value from you right now. Like, immense value. Like, you're getting so many resources right now. And you're also in a position where you can disengage and re-engage moments later. Just poorly
Yeah.
played. Poorly played versus in terms of the micro.
Right.
Sure? Deepen your angle, deepen your angle, deepen your angle. Sure. What do you do? It's tough, isn't it?
Like, the thought I had was like double blinking to that room where Soj was actually. Just to, like, claim space.
I mean, you could short range off angle here, but it doesn't feel all that good with what's there. But yeah, this is fine. You see?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's not a very easy rotation, but what I've seen so far is that you're just really bad on this map. You just don't know how to move on this map a lot of the time.
Right. And this
And
is
it's-
yeah.
And to give you credit, it's not the easiest map in the history of the world because it really has only been options of the deeper angles with what you've been seeing right now. It's okay.
Right.
It's okay. It happens. But I want to point out that every time I've asked you, where should you go, why, where should you go, why, you've always come up with the right answers. So this is where your ignorance isn't really a thing. It's just your experience. So you need to spend more time in the replay viewer after a really uncomfortable bad map, scouting out some ideas or some concepts that you need to be doing better. And you need to go practice those things, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Because I don't think there's been anything really new to teach you, whether it's been this round, the previous round, or the round before that.
Okay.
Yes?
It's go time.
Hate it. Hate this rotation from you here. I really love your opening, but I freaking hate the rotation. What's the habit that we're seeing again here?
Not deepening.
Not deepening, right? If you're going to get pushed by Nano, Rally, and Diva, just stay, right? Maybe you can rotate out this way. Maybe you can go height. Maybe just lurk down here. This is fine. You're fine. Don't go back here because this is where you die, right? You're getting sandwiched again, and you also don't have any information as to what's here. This is going to be recall. And then in theory, you could either die there or also you talk about uptime. Your uptime's garbage now, right? Because now you can't really take space anywhere else.
I thought about pulsing and then it.
Yep. I think you made the right decision. Something to keep in mind with your blink pulses here is you've been definitely practicing your blink pulses, which I love. Let me get this scroll wheel to work here. Okay. But just make sure that you're really tracking where they're moving as well, right? So she's pretty much moving in a straight line towards one direction. Keep that in mind when you're blink pulsing. But other than that, keep up the good work. Poor. Why?
This ends now.
Probably blink through.
Uh-huh. You got to squeeze it, right? You're going to recall anyway. You're going to get 2 freaking blinks off of it, right? Use it.
Yeah. So would you say that like after I pulse, like did I put myself in a bad spot there because I only had 1 blink, or was that fine? I guess.
You
I
tell
feel like
me.
I go into duels sometimes down and 1 more blink than I should be. Like, should I just have walked there? Probably.
Probably. Yeah, probably. But that might also be a response to the Sojourn ultimate that you're scared I'm in the open.
Honestly, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
It wasn't.
Okay. Well,
No.
then, yeah, then maybe you could look at your opening blinks sometimes. I've noticed a few times that you've used blink to reposition very late in setups. That might be something to look at.
Okay.
But overall, this is all right. Yes, I love this rotation from you. I don't love this, and this is exactly what we just talked about, right?
It's just because I had to touch.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Objective game, by the way. Yeah. But even then, you probably should do what?
Blink forward, blink backward.
Touch and leave. That's okay. Because this makes it a little bit awkward with your rotation. Just a little awkward.
Yeah.
Good. Good bit of trigger discipline there.
Okay. Well.
Okay, we'll move on to the next. Wait. You guys
Wait.
clutch this.
Whoa.
You guys
whoa.
clutch this. You guys clutch
It's a big
this.
game here.
Oh, wait a second. Sure. This is why I said talking about your mechanics, right? This is not a stupid play, but this is not a safe play either. You have a diva right here you could be shooting right now, off angling, but you also have triple blinks and a recall, and you see an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. And now, while you're waiting for your resources, you just take the safe play.
It's go time.
Good try.
Hey.
You just need more practice with pulse bombs, but I really like the way that you're using them with your blink pulses when you need to, and then even there, like the blink 180 pulse is 100% appropriate. Yep. Good stuff. Okay. A little bit of a surprise there. I see the vision. Hold the angle. Hold the angle. Hold the angle. Yeah, you see you're giving up too much space here. But you see you've lost your angle entirely. This is okay earlier when you had a good angle on the diva, but now they're up top and now you're lagging behind. What should you do here instead?
Just keep marking Cass.
You have to fight Cass. Yeah, you have to. He's used abilities. You've done some chip damage to him. You've still got 2 blinks and a half. You're all right. Fight him.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sometimes burning a recall doesn't mean you have to run away from a duel. If you've also forced resources from them as well, if that makes sense.
Right. Especially with the 2 blinks back.
It really does, yes. Very good, very good, very good. Go back in. Now this example here, you do play a little bit more conservatively. Nice. Good. Good. There are honestly moments where I would guess that this is low masters with how you're moving and how you're rotating and how you're using your blinks. The moments where it doesn't is when you really screw up your rotations or you do something really silly in terms of how you're positioning or kiting back to your team.
Yeah.
When you look uncomfortable with your rotations, it's really good. There's been a couple moments where you misuse your blinks, but for the most part, it seems like you have a pretty good idea of how to use them. Let's keep going. Would you like to look at another coat, or would you like to do some live coaching here?
let's do some live coaching.
Let's do it. Any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay. I had very little to say for a lot of fights. I had a lot to say for a couple fights, and then had nothing to say for a lot of other fights because there were some really nice things that you were doing in terms of how you're positioning and how you're rotating, and you're definitely thoughtful about your blinks, and you were using your blinks and so on appropriately. Let's lean into that more.
Okay. So I guess what should I be? So I guess as I play this game, I should be just focusing on deepening the angle and I feel like that was kind of the main thing. It's just deepening
A lot of the deepening the angle,
not giving up the space.
Mm-hmm. Responding to post recall. What can I do? Should I hold the angle? Should I run back to my team? Should I shoot the tank? Should I keep dueling or marking the cast tracer fill in the blank? Right.
Okay, sounds good. One question I do have is sometimes I feel unsure if like when it's okay to be stealthy versus when I'm doing nothing. Like, not, should I be poking or should I be lurking?
You tell me. What's your current strategy?
If they have a support that I can kill on my own pretty handedly, I think it's more okay to lurk. That might be all I've got, honestly, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
Works for me. When the reward is worth the risk, when the reward is worth the downtime, it's okay to lurk, right?
Okay.
Because the way to look at it is, would you rather have 4 $10 bills or 3 $20 bills? Or one $100 bill?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? When you talk about if there's a Widowmaker completely isolated and you show up and you sneak behind her and you one clip her, incredible value, even if you're 2 or 3 seconds late to the fight.
Yeah.
Remember when you got your recall burned by that Cassidy? Why was falling back to shoot the D.Va a mistake? Do you remember that on third point?
Yeah. Because even if the damage that I were to do to D.Va was really good, then Cass is still going to be behind me.
That's true. But I'll go one step further than that. The damage that you did to D.Va was not good. She went to high ground, and then you just sat there and looked at her, and you're like, well, I can do nothing. Versus the fight before that, when you went for the deep recall on Cassidy, remember, with your ball, and you got the kill and recalled back? Shooting D.Va was fine, and you're able to consistently apply pressure to D.Va because of your positioning. That's all. It's all of Overwatch is just a sense of measuring am I getting the reward for what I'm doing right now, or am I not? That's all.
Okay, that makes sense. How do you feel about the ban, chart of who's being banned the most?
It's interesting. I wouldn't have anticipated Zarya to be banned as much as she is. It makes sense once you think about it, but it is still surprising.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have put her. I would have guessed her to be like third or fourth ban, not first for tank.
Right.
But yeah, I guess visibility is a big thing, right? So you're much more likely to see a Zarya than you are a Roadhog.
Yeah.
Tough tracer map here. You're gonna have some problems here. So you're gonna need to think about your rotations, your angles, short range or long range. What should I be deepening? Should I be holding? I want you to strictly think about your rotations and your positioning. And for the live coaching process, all I'm gonna be doing is cueing you. So asking a question: where should you go? Where should you be? Where should you go? Where should you be? That doesn't necessarily imply that what you're doing is wrong, but I want you to be. I'm going to be asking at the time in which, in a real practice game, you should be thinking about it anyway.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it. Hold the angle. Hold the angle. Don't rotate away necessarily. Just do so a little bit more conservatively here. Yep.
Okay.
So where's your next step from here? You have resources. This is a challenging rotation. Yep. Patient. That's where you trust your mechanics, but it wasn't a mistake.
Okay.
He just outplayed you. You could have used your blinks a little bit better there to respect that. Like blink through once, start to clip, and then blink through one more time. Because if you're playing Zenyatta and you charge an alt fire, it is an all or nothing, right? Because there's a pretty big delay after he's shot. I'll stop yapping so you kill this guy.
No, you're good. A little closer than I'd like.
Uh-huh. As in, just killed 3 people. Okay, let's go. Where's your rotation from here? Next step. Yep. Yep. Don't have recall? Okay, never mind. Better than recall.
So this is where I feel like I'm doing nothing and
Make a
nothing was
decision.
fine.
Make a decision. Make a decision. Either stay or go. Your choice.
Oh, I'm staying.
Okay. Can you do anything here?
No.
Low risk. Yes, thank you. You have resources now? Good. Play your life. Low risk or downtime. They're going to try to push you here. Be careful. They will push you. Check your team. Okay, let's go. Oh, he thinks he's him. He's being double pocketed. It's okay. You realized a little too late he was being double pocketed. You also ate Helix at the start as well. Remember, the first thing he's going to do is shoot that Helix around that corner most of the time.
Right.
I don't think you misplayed that terribly, though. You could have played it significantly better, but like your approach there was almost good. Okay, next rotation. Go good. Cheat it. Yeah. Now we can just chill. Just shoot and chill. Too far? Now what? Next position. Yes. Nice and quiet. Nice and slow. Just looking for nade. Very good. Still winnable, actually. You have recall. Cheat it. And the clutch. Nice job. Really, really good job with both your movement and your setup. Very nicely done. This is not an easy map either. You're doing a good job. Just stay Carver here. So start right now. You have some downtime. Take a deep breath. Think. Where's my rotation? You'll need some scouting
Probably
first,
far
obviously, as
right,
well.
yeah.
Probably far right. Okay, sounds good. And in about 10 seconds, you'll probably abandon cart once you get it to your Ana.
Okay. Oh,
There's the
Venture,
venture. Love it. All right, let's go and start to move.
I'm gonna go left side actually. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Live. Hold the angle, but live. Resources, so look for something. Notice how you miraculously win the fight when you have the Zen Venture on you, right? You just play it patiently without recall.
Yeah.
Very well done. Next step. Next step. Mm-hmm. Check your team. Okay.
Oh.
Play your life. Still play your life, but don't run away from the angle. Go back. Mm-hmm. Play your life.
Oh,
That's fine. It's just as well. You caught wave respawn. That was the strategy. Nice job. Was the angle bad or was the execution bad? Should you try something different or do a better job of the same thing?
probably a better job of the same thing.
Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, you can even steal a card here. No recall, so play patiently. Uh-huh. Nice and patient. Where's your next step? Card's stuck, so focus on your pressure. That's okay. It happens. But you kind of see, like, once they get the surround, there's no point even pushing card there at that point.
Right.
Yeah, you're just totally surrounded, so just take a side and stick with it. Okay. Left or right there. Okay, let's move. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Uh-huh. Mostly mechanical and a little bit of positional stuff towards the end, right? A lot of opportunities that were just missed that otherwise would have won the fight.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's what practice is for. Did you feel like you had a game plan throughout that entire fight, that entire game, so far?
Not. I think it's maybe just some like map discomfort on that third point.
Okay. Do
so
you
I
think
didn't
you
feel
solved
like-
it? Do you think you solved it, or do you need more practice or experimentation?
More experimentation. I don't think I solved it, but I think I understand it better. That I kind of need to.
Correct.
I think just like explore the map a little bit more, like figure out where I can play from.
Yep, I agree. I think you started to get it towards the end.
Yeah.
I think even touching underneath is not a bad idea. It just was poorly executed once they started to take angles around cart. You just kind of kept trying to push cart and then played with Venture in the small room, which we kind of already talked about. Unless you kit the Venture without CDs or low, it just doesn't work all that well.
Right.
Okay, any questions so far?
I think from that small room underneath. I don't even know my question. No questions.
That's okay. Okay. Press tab. Check the DPS. Okay, Ash. So patience now. Patience. Good. Retake your angle. Patience now. That is in, I would say, maybe an awkward disengage, but I would go as far to say an earned death.
Okay.
Case in point, look at the kill feed, right? That was a lot of people for a long time. That costs time. So let's reset up your angle. Where should we go next? Okay, fight started. Let's go. 2K. Greed. Yeah. There's nothing to greed there either. There's no
I
reason to
should
take
know
any
he
sort of
has that
risks.
too, because he wasn't close enough to anybody to use it.
Well, even if that isn't Cassidy, even if that's Kiriko, why would I greed? Right?
Yeah.
Next ankle. That's just a poor rotation. You got a little sloppy. You wanted to start doing things right away and then didn't take a good angle.
Yeah.
What should your rotation have been there instead?
I double blink to the bottom room, like
No,
across.
not even. Just go up the stairs right to your right. Try it
You don't
again.
think I died doing that?
No, do it again. Do it again. Watch. Go up the stairs and go behind them. Top right. Now deepen to your right. There you go. Good job. Caution. Keep doing damage, but don't do no unnecessary risks. You have your cooldowns. Let's do something. Nice. Play your life. He will push you. Play your life. This is still winnable. Okay, so now I just play for the second point. Don't play to touch. Don't play to touch. Don't play to touch. You will not win this. You know, I could say that's an earned death just to be funny. You know? Yeah, that very clearly, given your team's posturing, they were not playing to recontest.
Okay.
Yeah, there's. Okay, rotation.
Want to get across so I can play high?
Go for it. You mean this venture is probably a little overextended here. Okay. Where now?
Oh, that's not venture.
Okay. You have resources. You're dead. Let's go next. A little slow, yeah. And even on the pulse on the Winston there, don't recall that. Use your blinks. You're good.
Okay.
Pulsing Winston there was obviously we're going for the venture, but it wasn't bad.
Do I go point here?
Your choice. You need to make a decision though, left or right. Sure. What's close? What's close? Get the kill here. Play for the touch if you can. Or just play to live. Alright, play to live now. Play to live. Full disengage. Full disengage and think about where your setup's going to be here.
Maybe play on this side here.
Okay. Good. Don't force anything. No resources.
I forced it.
That's okay. That was an opportunity where your mechanics can shine. Venture's low. You had triple blinks. That's exactly what we talked about, right? It's all right.
Okay, yeah.
Now don't force it. Now you can rotate though, if you like to. If you need to. No, this is going back to main. That's not rotating. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's too late now, but think about where you can go from here. If everything's too far. Okay, that didn't work. Stay here and think about it again. Okay, respect this. Respect this. You can still fight it. You can still fight it, but respect it. Use your cover, use your blinks. Doesn't mean run away. Okay, so to set up your angle again, think about this deepen here. If they're too far away from here, where do you deepen? It's going to depend, right? Keep experimenting.
Yeah.
Don't worry about winning the game. Your only job is to practice.
Okay. I don't need a recall.
It's okay.
I really did think I had a recall.
That's okay.
Silly.
It was super, super close though, right? Super close.
Yeah.
How is the quality
Well,
of your
we-
practice?
Pretty good.
I think so, right?
Like,
Obviously, I'm in
yeah.
your ears, so that helps out a lot. There's a lot more intentionality behind when there's somebody yelling at you. But what needs to be practiced further? More of the same? Something different?
Probably more of the same. Just being aware of like what what angle I want to take, figure out where I want to set up and stuff. So
Yeah, I agree. I think some of the rotations there. I want you to go back and watch that third point, the early third point. So here's your homework. Okay, here's your homework. All right. You're going to look at second point defense.
second point defense.
You're going to look at third point attack and third point defense. Okay, so third point attack, third point defense, and second point defense. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I want you to take no more than 5 minutes. Look at it from the third person POV, the replay viewer. Skim around. Think of some ideas. Think about rotations. Don't just think about positions to memorize, but given the information that you had, what could you done? What do you think you could have done? Where could you have rotated to? What were the mistakes in terms of, specifically in how you were moving and how you were rotating?
Okay.